Some real talk, oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. And it happened. The election, it actually did. Did the world fall apart Wednesday morning for all of your clients across the entire area, Claudia?
Nope. As I had told many of them, and the ones that got terrified, I'm like, it's not going to be crazy, and it's not going to be crazy in January, and I don't think it's going to be crazy during the transition. Things might change. It will take time. You depend on Congress, not only the president, so it's good. It's good.
But maybe now the conversation will shift. Did anything happen with the market? Like, did you see any jolt? Because you're looking at it every day. You've got phone calls, you've got emails, you've got interest, you've got different people at different levels within the cycle of real estate. Any changes to the stratosphere?
Not really. Can I be 100% honest? And I'm not going to discuss it here. I'm just going to say what was pretty interesting is that I had one of my clients, dear couple, they asked me if I would mind talking to them, and they are being 100% honest in terms of like, look, we don't know, we want to learn more, nothing about the market, nothing about inflation or whatever. They want to know as an immigrant that, yes, I'm a citizen now, but as an immigrant, my opinion or my views on immigration. So they said, we are just trying to really understand, not hearing from the government, not from opposing parts, but from someone who likely, we all know illegal immigrants. You might not know or pretend you don't, but everybody does. But they said, because you're an immigrant, because you speak other languages, you're more aware of the reasons and everything else. I thought it was pretty interesting. And I actually liked it, because I think it's important for people to try to see the other side. I'm not saying it's right, but at the same time, truly understand the other side. And I'm not illegal. I was never an illegal immigrant. And this is one of the reasons why my marriage with Kevin took so long to happen, because I said, I love you, I want to be with you, but I will not become an illegal citizen to be with you. Illegal citizen, can you say that? Illegal alien to be with you. So when it's about to happen, it has to be the right way. But, I could have, and I do know people. So they want to learn. And I thought it was pretty interesting that they want to see from the other side. Because I think if you really think about it, if someone is an illegal immigrant, they might be afraid of talking to a citizen, because they might think, who knows? Like, do you work for ICE? Do you want to take me away? They might not say anything. So I think my clients know I'm safe. So I thought it was interesting that they want to know.
And did you share your thoughts and opinions?
Not yet. I said I don't mind it. I like that they are interested. I said it's just too complicated for like a text. So we're going to have lunch in the near future, because I thought it was cute. They're super young, and I love the idea of them wanting to learn more.
Okay, wanting to learn more about immigration policies is great, but do people want to learn more about real estate when you deal with buyers and sellers? Are they interested in the process and learning the details and all of that?
Yes, and I think I do that constantly, not only on my social media, but when I'm searching for houses, when I'm talking to clients. Do you remember, did I ever mention I was an English teacher as a foreign language back in the day in Brazil?
No, I did not know that. You were an ESL teacher.
Yes, EFL.
Oh,
as
EFL.
a foreign language, not as a second language. Oh. So here you come and you learn ESL, second language. I was a teacher of EFL as a foreign language.
Oh, wow.
There is a difference. Do you know what is the difference?
No.
Kind of, when it becomes your second language, it's like me. It's a second language. I can go back and forth, and sometimes I'm talking to people and I mix both at the same time. I dream in both languages. I think in different languages, and they go, this is a second language for me. A foreign language is when, let's say, Spanish. I have to
El baño.
I have to think about it, and many times I have to translate in my mind, and many times I have to use my my hands and mimic. And so it's a foreign language. It's not something that comes naturally. You can communicate. Hopefully you will be fluent, but it's still not like just a thing that goes back and forth like a second language.
The language everybody speaks, universal language, money. Prices go up, down,
I was
left,
going to say
right.
English. Okay, money, yes.
Which way did the market shift at all in the past week? Interest rates also being a factor now. The Fed lowering, 25 bips, as they say?
Yes.
And so that's not, though, a direct correlation to mortgage rates?
No, not at all. And I was reading about it. It does not mean at all that rates will change. Believe it or not, the market is pretty healthy and strong. Unemployment is super low. And the Fed doesn't see a reason why they would lower the rates. Because if they lower the rates, I'm not a financial person. But basically, if they lower the rates and then everything gets easier to be bought, cars, clothes, using your credit cards, people go into debt, and that creates inflation. So it's like a circle, right? A vicious circle. So the market is so healthy and unemployment is so low that the government doesn't really want people to go crazy spending money. But I did read that they believe for Q1, so the first quarter of 2025, they believe that mortgage rates, because this is what I am interested in, it might go to around 6, maybe even a little below 6. But we are close to 7 right now. So the fact that in maybe 3-4 months, it might go down to 6 is pretty exciting.
Did you have buyers at the time when rates hit the highest, which were probably almost 8%?
Yes, yeah. I did.
You had buyers that were willing and able to purchase at that percent?
Again, I think it's case by case, and I do get involved probably more than I should. It all depends. So with each client, I have a conversation. I understand the whys, and if it makes sense to buy even at a higher interest rate, I show them why I think it's a good idea, and I would say most listen to me and do it. But if it does, if it's just to move, but for no reason, then it's okay to wait. But how many times people are paying rent, throwing the money in the garbage, money that they'll never see again? And I am a spreadsheet maniac. Everything in my life is on a spreadsheet. So I put them side by side. I help them visualize, because many times people say, like I pay $1,800 in my rent, and I did a pre-approval, I would pay $21. So it's $300 more. But then if I put side by side, yes, you are spending $300 more every month, but you are creating equity. You are building something for yourself. And here you're throwing, $15,000, $20,000 a year in the garbage.
It takes a personal broker to go help you with your personal experience and your personal one-to-one scenario that nobody else is dealing with but you. And you need someone like Claudia Ogrizek of Ckezepis Real Estate. More about real estate. Happy Veterans Day.
Yes, happy Veterans Day. Thank you.
Veterans.
I am very proud to say that I've helped many veterans. Many. Mm-hmm.
Great job.
I think the agents that are veterans probably hate me. Because I have a bunch of veteran clients that refer me to other veteran clients. And I am a Brazilian lady, and I help
them out.
Yep.
Oh, Bill's ready.
Oh, let's talk about my trip to Charleston, because today, after the show, I'm headed to Charleston for the retreat with Compass. So I need to talk about it.
I saw your post.
Yes.
I saw. With the green nails, ready to rock it. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Ckezepis Real Estate. Speaking of Compass, you've got a trip you're leaving for here very shortly, and you are going to learn more about Compass, learn more about the market. What exactly are y'all doing?
All of the above. So yeah, I am ready. I'm actually leaving the show and I'm going straight to Charleston. Tomorrow, officially, Compass Retreat starts. There will be about 1,500 agents from all over the country and many speakers. And we're going to discuss the market, the changes after the commission lawsuit, NAR, National Association of Realtors, the MLS that are allowing you not to be. I know it's complicated for the general public, but we are going to discuss, yes, the market, the future of the market.
Talking about firm exclusives at all?
Of course. I was going to say that right now. We are going because there's one thing very interesting, special, and amazing about Compass that is different that I believe 99% of the firms. Compass is not a franchise. So Compass is owned by one person and there's no franchise. Meaning, for instance, in our case, a private exclusive here in Charlotte, I have one right now, by the way, my private exclusive, call me if you, is available to Compass agents. I think it's about 30,000 agents all over the country.
So if
and all of them can see. Now, if I worked at a different office and most names, you know, all the names you can possibly think of, there are franchises. So let's say that I am at firm XYZ Lake Norman. Only if I am at that firm, only those agents from my firm, XYZ Lake Norman, can see my private exclusive. So let's say if you have 100 agents, only 100 agents can see my private exclusive. Now, Compass, which is a rare non-franchise firm, all agents from all over the country can see it. So your exposure is incredibly higher. And why? And actually, I know because we are getting emails preparing for Compass Retreat. And more and more and more, our firm will focus on, first thing, private exclusive for a while. It could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, it doesn't matter. Of course, it depends on what the sellers want. But first we put them on private exclusive and we try to market in our firm. And if needed, then we go to MLS and the open market. So Compass intends to be stronger and stronger by the minute.
It certainly seems like that is the play post-settlement as far as commissions and NAR and what it's created, practically speaking. We sat around, we talked about what is going to be the practical effect. And firm exclusives, private exclusives, they seem to be what we thought would happen. And so you're saying that that is something that Compass in particular is leaning into, ultimately giving you the advantage of a larger broker network to see a property, handle the deal likely within a specific way, because there's probably something to being a Compass agent that's a little bit maybe unique too, as compared to some firms that will just let anybody be a broker or hang a license there. And so share with your experience about your experience. Do you like the quality of Compass brokers, the other ones within the network? What do you think about that?
I love it. And I think we talked about it. When I was changing firms, I was looking for a firm that had higher producing agents in terms of productivity, money, sales, and not only numbers. So there are firms, franchises, but if you add the names, each franchise, each office, they have thousands of agents, let's say in Charlotte. So they can say, oh, we sell whatever, $100 million a month, but then they have 3,000 agents. I wanted a strong firm. So I think we have 250 agents, 300 in Charlotte. And we are, if I'm not mistaken, the highest producing firm. And with not as many. So I wanted strong agents. And I also wanted a culture of collaboration, helping each other. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm going to the Compass Retreat, because we are going to discuss different markets, of course. Each market, each state has their own rules. We do have, if you are in our MLS, you need to be a realtor. I don't know if it changed already, but anyway. So there are different rules we have the due diligence fee that other states don't have, but learn strategies, how to improve your sales, how to make it better, and also, of course, network, because the more agents I know all over the country. We can help each other as our career, but also if I have a client moving to California, if someone has someone coming from New York, if I have this relationship and I trust the agents, I can also refer my clients to be in good hands. Same way when people send them my way, they know I'll take good care of their clients.
So in bringing this then back to the normal person who's not in real estate every day, because a lot of people aren't in it, right? This is what
I thought everybody is a real estate agent.
This is what you actually do for your life well-being, to make money, all of those kinds of things, to help people go through this process of buying and selling a home. Do you find that in the scheme of things in the marketplace, that what you're offering as far as you and your services and Compass gives you an advantage to help people more? Do you find that it's more effective way to do things like the way that Compass does it in the market?
Yes. I know I started talking about something else, but as I was interviewing strong firms and I saw what goes behind the scenes, like the systems, AI, tasks, management, everything that I had never seen before, and I didn't see when I was interviewing other firms, I was in awe of how much that could help me. And by helping me, of course, I can help my clients. So it was a thing. I remember when I was being presented the system and everything that could help me be a better agent and be more efficient, faster, with more everything. It was game over. I'm like, Compass, that's the one I want. And I don't regret it at all. Like it really changed my career.
So is it all the tools and all of that, or is it your willingness still to do open houses? Because sometimes I think you're crazy still to do open houses, but is it just being out there with people in the community? Do you find that local effect to be of use and being part of buying it? Is that relevant for buying and selling a house?
Yeah. Claudia, yes. I think each agent, or the great agents, because there are many great agents out there, each one of us should, and not all do, but most of us find out what they're best in terms of new clients, let's say, what they're good at or great at, and they should focus. I think I am great at open houses. I need the face-to-face, and I am usually relaxed, believe it or not. I'm very relaxed at open houses because I think I enjoy it. So people feel my energy, they listen to me, and many times they hire me. So I love it.
Does that correlate, do you think, to, let's say, some of your more expensive listings that you've had, right? We're talking, typically you'll see it, and though it could be at any property, no matter the price, but more commonly you see at a higher price point, $1 million plus $2 million, the requirement that the listing agent be present during showings. Do you run into that at all, or more or less seeing that in our marketplace at that price point?
Believe it or not, I actually think that agents don't do it, and I think I do it. And I do think my clients take, they pay attention to this, they appreciate, and I always tell my clients, unless I'm sick or I'm on rare vacation days, I want to be there for the open house as the listing agent, because there's no agent that knows more about the house than me. So if a buyer comes, or an unrepresented buyer, a buyer that has an agent but comes alone, or even buyers that come with their agents, there's nobody that knows to answer questions more than I do, because as I am preparing the house for the market, I study, I think of questions people may ask, and not always, like there's always a question that I never thought about, but I have access to my clients. And for instance, during an open house, I always tell my clients, please be on the phone. Like you don't have to be staring at the phone, but be on the phone, because very often people ask crazy, honestly, questions. I try to what can people ask about rental cap, Airbnb, how old is the HVAC? How old is the water?
Can I hang sheets in the grass?
Yes. I try to think of every question people may ask, and very often they come with something completely unexpected. And I won my clients. So I'm the one, because if I have someone else hosting my listing, they don't have this direct access to the clients that I do.
Okay, so maybe it really works. Maybe open house.
I love it.
Maybe
I
I'm
love
wrong.
open houses. I think it's an amazing strategy to show your house to prospect buyers, to your nosy neighbors. It's adorable and very effective to have nosy neighbors come because they might have friends that are thinking about moving to the. And I've sold listings with neighbors come, call a friend, and the friends come, and I sell houses. So I love it.
Okay, well,
I was actually this past weekend, right? I thought about hosting open houses, but I had to take a moment and I made the choice to stay home and get ready for retreat. This is going to be my first retreat convention, whatever. And I heard that it's pretty exhausting because you are learning. So it's like a mentally because you learn so much, but you have to network and talk to so many people. So I was getting ready. So I stayed home. I miss open houses. I'll be back from Charleston, and if I'm not exhausted, this weekend you're gonna see me in one open house.
happy Veterans Day to everyone. Do buyers and sellers call on Veterans Day? Is that part of being a broker too? Is having to work on the holidays when everyone else isn't working? Is that usually a thing? Or
Of course.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. More with Claudia Ogrizek of Ckezepis Real Estate. Up next. Today's Real Talk, show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Ckezepis Real Estate. You know, price go up is what still seems to be going on locally in the marketplace for the most part. Whether that's, resale or new construction, which we haven't talked about yet. Either way, a part of the value going up is you got to take care of the unit. So Maintenance Monday, we will talk about something that Claudia's got for us to take care of our homes and help hopefully the value continue to go, at least contribute toward that value going up. Do you find this in this market that all the houses have already been updated to all the grays and all that kind of stuff, and or are there a lot of houses still that are what is commonly known as builder grade and have an opportunity thus to put some maybe sweat equity into their home?
I honestly think that most are not updated, and many are builder grade. And there are people that have been living in the house for 10, 20 years, and they never original paint. Oh yeah, original everything. Do I think it's a mistake? Yes. But it's important because actually I had a conversation with, I don't know if I got the listing, I hope so, but I had a conversation this past weekend with a potential listing. They bought a house. They didn't know me. They used a different agent, new construction, and they put tons of great upgrades. But I took a look at the neighborhood and the area. I try to find, and they put more than the average for the neighborhood. And people should know that if you do that, it's like it might backfire, because if you do something that is not expected in the neighborhood, you can't really get the money back because you can't justify in the area, in the neighborhood, to have so many nice upgrades that are not part of that neighborhood. So
it's nice to have, but I don't need to have it to live here. It's
and
not
the same
important
thing, and the opposite goes the same way. So if you have like a house in the peninsula, I remember one of my listings, and I don't remember, but I'm gonna say something silly. Okay, so the house was in the peninsula, and they said we have granite countertops. It's for the peninsula. Granite countertops is nothing. Actually, should be probably something better. But because you are expected to have nicer finishes, or I have soft close drawers, doesn't mean anything in the peninsula. It doesn't mean anything at the point because you are a higher end house, and the least you expect is to have nice finish, soft close drawers and gas range and things like that. So the same thing for a nicer house where people expect nice features. So it's not a big deal if you have something nice because you expect that in the neighborhood. The same thing happens if you have like I'm not saying a bad anything, but you have to kind of match your neighborhood. So when I have now many times clients that want to do a renovation, I always advise them. I'm like, guys, do something nice, but make sure you don't overdo it for the house you are in. So you have to kind of match your neighborhood. You have to match your area. You have to match your price point.
Question for you, being that it's Veterans Day, veterans and working with you, it seems like, or at least you've said you work with quite a few.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that veterans are attracted to working with you in your service? And what's that? Is there any relationship?
So. It's again, I think it's, I honestly think it's the way I treat, and it's not only veterans, it's everyone. It's the way I treat them. It's not just a transaction. It's not just a thing. Like I'm there at all times, before, during, after they buy or sell. Like they can really, and they feel that, and they come back to me many times, or all the time so far. I never had one that changed realtors, because I think they know they can count on me like forever, and they can. So I think that's why attracts them. And they refer me, the same thing, they come back. So let's say my original clients come back to me and they refer me. There is one that started with me as a rental. She bought and she started referring me to her best friend, her cousins, her mom, her aunt. Like I always say I have to have like a party just for this group, because from one rental that she actually could not get approved for, and I went there and I fought for her. And a rental, I don't even know now, but like you get paid maybe $100. I'm sure I showed her so many houses that I spent more than $100 just in gas. She was in a tough situation, and I bought for her in one of the houses that made every single, it made sense. And she got the house, and now she bought. I mean, it's been a few years that she bought the house. She has tons of equity. And she referred me for, I don't know, like 10, 15 people. I sold to her whole family.
So when you go through that process and that relationship and people come back to you, say, do you think it's going to be this whole drawn out, okay, you need to sell and get out of here? Do you think sellers are going to have to like be forced kind of in this mindset now going forward because of how well they are sitting from an equity perspective and interest rate perspective, that it's going to have to take like some convincing for sellers to move? Or no, do you think that eventually the cycle will normal out in that sense?
I think that most people, especially the ones that are at low interest rates, lower, even that, maybe not 4, but lower than 3, and there are many, I don't think they will leave and I talk to them and I'm like, please, like a home equity line. I'm not a fan of a HELOC. I think people should be more aware, and I try to beg my clients to talk to me before doing that, because they get excited about having some cash to spend, but then they don't realize what they're doing, creating a new debt, removing or losing all the equity of their house. If it's not I understand for like an emergency, like health, okay, but not because you want a new car. This is me. I'm very disciplined with money. I don't spend, I don't spend on silly things. It's very rare that I just spend the money. And I feel, and I wish schools and everything, they would teach people more about real finance, not silly math, but financial education, like know how to manage your money, understand, let's say if you're a homeowner, understand the regular mortgage, understand what's a home equity line. It's not a game. Understand refinancing, because people have to also understand, and I talk to my clients, and I go with my spreadsheets. When they tell me they are thinking about refinancing, I'm like, okay, let's talk, because you have to understand that if you refinance, everything pretty much you paid for resets, and you start another 30-year loan. And sometimes people are doing it to save $100, $200, but they're throwing away everything they paid already. So if you put on a spreadsheet, it's not worth it, especially knowing you're not going to be, if you're going to be in the house forever, maybe. I don't know the number, but I would say by far the majority of people will stay in a house. This is the number, 7 years. So when you refi just to have the comfort of saving $200, you might be throwing away way more than the 200 you're thinking about saving. So I wish, if we're talking about maybe the new president and everything that should happen, I think one of the most important things is actually financial education.
Well, and education happens at a state level too, so it's important to engage even the state leaders,
Yes.
that the several newly elected state leaders, right, and people in transition and all that kind of stuff too.
We constantly talk about it, and I do believe that most people do not understand, for instance, something that should be basic and natural and obvious: supply and demand. I don't think people do. You, or you're not going to answer that.
What supply and demand?
People understand the concept of pricing, supply and demand, why prices go up and down.
I think there's certainly educational barriers, and like I don't necessarily understand the flow of steel 100% into the country, right? But when I see price and I look at historical charts or anything like that, there is a constant, in the world of buying and spending money, it's supply and demand. Everyone's income then becomes the money spent for somebody else, and it goes in the circle that way. So that's, supply and demand is the basis of everything.
But do you think most people understand?
I don't know. Do you think that there's a portion of people, there's someone I know that believes this, that there's no internal dialogue going inside their head, that they're just walking around only with what happens to them on the exterior? Do you believe that? Or do you think everyone has that internal dialogue?
They should have.
Today's Real Talk. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Congratulations on your conference that you're heading off to for Compass to learn more. It's good to learn more as a broker, to get more tools that you can ultimately help your clients better. Are you excited? Is it a whole week? Are you going to be going? Because you don't normally do this, go off and be company person. You pretty much just keep your head down and grind. How long are you going for?
Today, but the whole thing starts tomorrow, but we're going today and it ends Thursday afternoon. Okay,
so it's a whole week pretty much of learning, and it's not, that's not easy to do on top of maintaining balance back at the home front, because being a high producing broker. How's your assistant doing, by the way? How's that going?
Yeah, he's saving my life. No, he helps. It's crazy that he is, in the background, literally saving my life. So he is ready, because of course I'm like, Sean, in a few hours. And of course I'm going to be answering text and talking, but I need him more than ever, because I won't have a lot of time to be available if I'm in a networking event, or if I'm in a class or like a mastermind. I will try a little, but even though he never talks to clients, he doesn't even answer emails, even though he has access to my email. So he's watching my email. I remember when I suggested that he would do it, he's like, but I'm like, I have nothing to hide, so it's fine. You can read my emails. But
email's a huge amount of time in the day.
Yes.
It's a massive amount of time.
But he still, like, when he sees something that does not involve me at all, that doesn't, like scheduling something that he can check my schedule and see, he does it. But if it's a client, a lender, an attorney, a contractor, it doesn't matter. If it's someone, he doesn't answer. He knows because he's like, you have a special way to do it. I do not want to be you. I don't want to maybe give the wrong answer, or because he's like, I'm watching you. You have a certain way. But yeah, the rest is crazy. So I will be still talking to my clients. The same thing, texts. It's always me. I always tell my clients, when you hire me, you're hiring me. So Sean is helping me, but I'm with my clients. And this is something, actually, I want to talk about it. I want to put it on Instagram, because I think I always say the thing about the right agent matters. Someone that cares about you for real and not about the commission. Because unfortunately, there are many agents that care about the money and nothing else. But for me, I need to, tell people, even if you don't hire me because whatever, you don't like that I'm too normal, too real. And I get it. Of course, there are people that prefer a more selling sunset kind of thing, and it's fine, or someone. But one of the things that matter to me, because again, I treat others like I want to be treated. So it's like, okay, if I hire you, I'm hiring you. Do I get you or I'm going to get someone else? Because many agents show up on social media and people like them, like what they see. But then when they're hired, someone else coming, they never see the agent, maybe at the closing table with the attorney. This will never happen to me. It's me, always. Again, unless I'm on vacation, which is rare. But I am going on vacation a month from now, so do not bug me.
You're allowed to go on vacation.
Thank you.
And the other thing is you educate people in ways that they can take it with them regardless of you being there. That's important. One of those ways, Maintenance Monday.
Yes.
Because we got to take care of the property.
Yes.
We need to do that. So what you got for us? What's the tip?
Okay. Even though I think it's too early and I'm not authorizing anyone to start decorating for Christmas or any holiday, let's change. Don't decorate for holidays right now because I love
Like
Thanksgiving.
Christmas. Holidays like Christmas.
Like Christmas. Yeah. I love Thanksgiving. It's actually, I would say, probably my second favorite holiday. My first one is New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But respect Thanksgiving, and because, you're thankful when you are with your family, so I love it. But if you insist and disrespecting Thanksgiving and you start decorating right now, something that extremely important is the outdoor lighting. And our Christmas tree inside the house, for instance, but outdoor lighting. I know it's not a lot if you think of the number of houses in the country, but there are about 900 fires that might destroy a house because of Christmas or Hanukkah or
really? Because of lights?
Because of lights.
Wow.
Because sometimes the cord is peeled and it causes something, or because people overload one outlet.
And you're supposed to lick the light bulb right before you plug it back in or screw it back in, right? Isn't that a thing?
Are you for real? No, you're joking. But loose light bulbs, overload outlets, or not using GFCI outside with the risk of fire and the rain and the water. So make sure you check your outlets, check your bulbs in your Christmas decoration, your holiday decoration. Turn them off if you're not home, if you're traveling, and even at night, because about 900 houses and I think $13 million in damages every year because of holiday lights, because people don't pay attention, or they want to save money, or they don't take care of it. So it is kind of crazy. $13 million in damages because of decoration during the holidays.
Got to be careful out there. Santa's ruthless,
Yes.
And all the other lights. So that's a great tip. So take care of your house, even in the holiday times. Don't be falling asleep next to the jar of eggnog.
No, and so many people go away and leave everything on without someone watching it. Not a good idea.
Talking about and then timers too and stuff like
timers,
that.
But the timers is on outlet. Everything has to be checked. But I did read that LED lights are much safer than regular lights.
Oh, wow.
So if you can, or if you don't want to change anything, just try to get like an extension cord that's strong enough and made to take many different lighting cords, whatever. And try to make it LED because I think it doesn't get as hot, So it's safer to have LED lights.
It seems like that's an energy efficiency. So I want to talk to the new construction queen for a moment here because we're waiting on new construction to save the inventory crisis issue. Is it a crisis still, would you say, as far as inventory?
I wouldn't say so. Yes, no, yeah. We have 3 months of inventory, which is still low.
Allegedly.
But at the same time, buyers are kind of sitting and waiting. They were waiting for the election. I mean, I haven't seen the actual. I kind of. Some buyers are back now after the election. Again, I don't know why. I don't know why they thought something would just change just like that. But we still don't have enough inventory. But new construction. I just put a house under contract last week. Repeat clients. I also have many police officers as clients. So I feel super safe. If something happens, I'm like, do you know I'm friends with this many police officers? But I'm very happy they got new construction at 4.5%.
Oh, wow.
They could have gotten for $399, but then, we had to see their house to put on the market. And because there was no timing, it was kind of unexpected, but they are getting 4.5 for 30 years. It's not because there are many buy down programs right now.
2-1 buy down, I think they call it.
2-1 buy down.
That means it's not for the entire runway of the 30 years. That's something that's important to understand from a product perspective.
Yes. So I always explain let's say a 2-1 buy down means that artificially lowering the interest rates the first year for, let's say, 2 points, second year for 1 point, and then third year on, you pay the regular. So right now, let's say the interest rates are 7. It means for the first year, you would have an artificially
or prepaid in essence, because the interest gets moved around and paid.
But you can get the seller to pay. So
correct.
if you are
it's
able
money
to
on
negotiate,
it's funny money on paper.
You're saving money. But you would pay 5% first year, 6% second year, and then if you don't refinance, you would start paying 7. But hopefully until
that's the bet.
Then 2 years from 7%. Now, interest rates are lower. You can refi. So, but this one they got 4.5 for 30 years. So they'll never have to refi, which is amazing. And before coming here, I saw another builder. They are offering, they say 40,000 in credit if you are under contract by the end of November. So it's not truly the same thing, but 20,000 that you could use for closing costs or to buy down your rate. And it could be buy down the rate for 30 years. It could be buy down 2 years, 1 year, and 20,000 in design options. So the 20,000, like it's not really 40 because 20 is in design options. They're basically hoping you spend your money on upgrades, but it's still pretty good to get 20,000, let's say 10,000 as closing costs to put on the table on closing day, and 10,000 to buy down the rate.
Okay, so the builders are filling the gap of interest rate in the marketplace.
It's an ideal moment to buy new construction right now. Like there are many, many amazing options, but don't forget, do not go to a model home without an agent. Don't show up and ask questions. They are there working for the builder. People have to understand they are working for the benefit of the builder, not to your benefit. You need someone to represent you. It does not change the price of the house. They actually are happy you don't have representation because they keep more money in their pocket. You don't get that. They do. They keep the money to, so they are more than happy when clients show up without an agent because they keep more money. They will not give you more money just because you don't have an agent.
Well, and less perspectives and asking questions along the way. If we're talking about a to-be built, right, you're going to take a 6-month, 12-month journey with a builder too. That's a whole nother process.
Yes.
But interesting. Builders filling the gap of interest rate, compromising maybe on location, maybe on established character of a neighborhood, but pick and choose. You're stepping up. You are getting ready for the dream home. It's worth it. Safe travels. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.